All right, rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. Rise and shine and welcome to school today. We're so glad you're here. Hello, preschoolers. Welcome back. It's time for our calendar. Let's sing the months of the year song again, just because I like it. You ready? There's January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September, October, November, and December. 12 months in a year. Oh, there are 12 months, 52 weeks, and 365 days in a year. Woo! All right, so we know that this month is April. It's April. We know it. We're on the fourth week of April. We know that it's April. All right, yesterday was Thursday. Tomorrow is Saturday, but today is my favorite day. What day is it? Friday. In our classroom in Capitol Hill, we call Friday Fun Friday or Friend Friday. Can you show me friend? Try this out. This is friend in sign language, Friend Friday. And on Friend Friday, what we like to do at Circle Time is get up and ask someone if they would like a hug. It could be a friend. Well, at school, it's normally our friends and our teachers around. We ask, would you like a hug? And your friend can say, yes, I would like a hug, or no, I would not like a hug. But since we are not at school today, you will have to find someone else to give a hug to. Maybe it could be your pet. I probably will give my dog a big hug. Or it could be a teddy bear or a stuffy that you love. You could give a big hug. It could be a parent. It could be a brother or sister. It could be a nanny. It could be any special person that is around that you would like to give a squeeze. So I want you to take that moment right now to give your friend Friday squeeze. So ask someone, would you like a hug? I don't have anyone here right now. So I'm going to say, Miss Piper, would you like a hug? Yes, I would like a hug. And I'm going to hug myself. Go ahead and give your hugs. Oh gosh, I'm so glad you get a good squeeze. It's the best feeling. All right, friends, let's get back to our calendar. So we know that today is Friday, and now it's time to count. It's my favorite part. Are you ready to count? Let's go. All right, let's start at the number 1. You know that number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now, if 21, 22, and 23 all had the number 2, what about 24? Do you think 24 will have a 2? Let's see. It totally has a 2. 2, 4. 2 next to a 4 like that means 24. Let's put that on our calendar. So now we know that today is Friday, April 24th. Time for the weekend. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining me at calendar this week. I hope you enjoy your Saturday and your Sunday, and I'll see you again on Monday.
Hello, preschool friends. Welcome back to Story Time. Today's story is Little Bee and the Snowy Day. Now, bee as the insect is spelled B-E-E, but her name is B-E-A. But it sounds the same, bee and bee. So she's a little bee named Bee. We're going to find out about her adventure on a snowy day. Snow, snow, and more snow. Buzz, yippee, says little bee. There are so many fun things to do on a snowy day. Come on, bear, let's go outside and play. Snow covers the entire world. Fat, fluffy flakes keep falling from the sky. Little bee's friends love snow just as much as she does. Crunch, stomp, skedaddle, hide and seek is tricky on a snowy day. Rabbit, bear, beaver, owl, deer, goose, soon everyone is here. Little bee has all her friends playing on the snowy day. Flap, swish, the friends make snow angels. That's a fun thing to do on a snowy day. Tickle, tingle, chilly fun. Let's catch snowflakes one by one. Throw on a little toboggan there. It's fun. Whee! Sledding is definitely a great snowy day activity. Duck, little bee, duck. It's funny, there's two ducks. Run, little ducks, run. Snowball fight is definitely a great snowy day activity. Little bee and her friends love to skate, spin, and twirl. Oops, don't fall. I fall a lot when I go ice skating. Who is under this blanket of snow? Let's dig and see. Who do you think it is? Let's find out. I found acorns and berries, says Bear. It was the bear. How silly. I found little bee, says Rabbit. Cute. Brr, it's cold. It's time to warm up. Everyone stops for hot chocolate. Delicious. Hot chocolate is a must on a snowy day. What's next? I know, says little bee. Let's make a new friend. And they do. It's a snow bear. It's a great snowy day activity. See you tomorrow. Bye, preschool.
Hi, preschool friends. Miss Holly here, and I'm going to tell you about a fun bee act it out activity. So we've been learning about how bees go from flower to flower to collect nectar. While they're collecting nectar, they also end up getting covered in pollen. This bee is covered in pollen balls.
As bees fly from flower to flower collecting nectar, they also gather the pollen all over their body. When they fly to different flowers getting nectar, they drop off some pollen from other flowers, and that pollen helps the flowers grow.
What you're going to need for this activity are some pretend flowers. Now, last week we made some flowers when we did the colored paper. Mr. Elliott also showed you an example of making a coffee filter flower. And the week before, we also had made some flowers that we put on popsicle sticks that Miss Laura had demonstrated. So either grab some of those flowers or find some flowers, but you're gonna need several flowers for this activity. You're also gonna need something to be pollen to put on top of those flowers. Some examples could be that you have cotton balls. So we took this cotton ball and we colored it yellow. It doesn't have to be yellow. You could just use a white one. If you have pom-poms, you could use pom-poms for your pollen. We also found some Legos that definitely could work as pollen. And you could also rip yellow paper to be your pollen and kind of fold it up. It needs to be something that's kind of easier to pick up. The last thing that we thought about finding is we had some pretend coins. We thought that might be some fun pollen. So you can either have all the same type of pollen, or you can choose to have different pollen. Something else that might make this activity more fun is maybe you made a bee headband. So you could get your bee headband so you could pretend to be a bee. You also could get your bee finger puppet if you made one of those, or your how to draw a bee, and maybe you can make that into a finger puppet. So those are the things. I'm gonna go over it one more time. You're gonna need some flowers, some pollen, and anything that makes you feel like a bee. Oh, it looks like I found a TJ bee and a Henry bee. They're hidden away in their beehives. I wonder if they're gonna go out and get some nectar today, and while they're getting nectar, pick up some pollen. Let's watch and find out.
When you lay out your flowers, you'll want to put a couple pieces of pollen on each one. And as you go to each flower, only pick up one piece of pollen.
Oh, these are some busy bees. They're picking up some pollen. So when they pick up some pollen, they only can carry 2 pollen at a time. If you go to another flower and you have more than 2 pollen in your hand, then you need to go and drop it off at another flower. Notice how all our pollen is getting moved around from flower to flower. Ooh, I bet our bees are getting tired from all that nectar collecting and pollen moving. I wonder if they're ready to go back to their beehive. Now, bees do bring some of that pollen home with them because that pollen is also good protein for them. But mostly they drop most of the pollen back off in the flowers. Oh, it looks like the TJ bee is all back in his hive. I bet he's gonna start eating some of that pollen protein and making that honey out of the nectar.
Honey.
And there's my Henry bee all back in his hive. All right, I hope you guys have fun acting out bees also. So as you can see, bees do important work by pollinating all our plants to help things grow. Bye for now.
Hi Preschool. Today we're going to practice a little bit of printmaking art. So I went around my backyard and I collected a leaf and some different kinds of flowers. And I'm going to use some markers, and I might decide later that I want to use some paint. So I'm going to flip my leaf over. There's a soft side and then there's the underside with all of the veins. It's a little uneven. So I'm going to look at that uneven underside of my leaf, and I'm going to use my markers, and I'm going to start coloring it. You want to be really gentle so your leaf does not break. I'm going to see if I can create a rainbow. Once my leaf or flower is all colored, I'm going to flip it over and press down on the whole flower. Then I'm going to slowly peel my leaf up. And look at that! I made a rainbow leaf. So printmaking is kind of like creating your own stamp. Now that I've got this nice vein rainbow part, I'm going to trace my leaf. There we go. I also want to try making a bumblebee. So for that part, I'm going to take my thumb and a yellow marker, and I'm going to color on the underside of my thumb. Then I'm going to press it onto my paper. And now I'm going to turn my little thumb into a bumblebee. That's my little bumblebee visiting my leaf, my rainbow leaf. Now, I might decide that I want to spice up this project a little bit by doing some printmaking in another way. I'll take my same leaf and I'm going to use watercolors. I'm going to go with my favorite shade of blue here. And I'm going to paint just around the edges. And lift it up again. And I just traced my leaf. Another thing I might want to try is a little impression painting. I'm going to use my pink flower here and I'm going to press it down. And I'm using a poking motion on top of this flower. Let's see, I think I peeled that up and that looks kind of okay, but I want to add something more. So I'm going to keep going up and down all around my flower. What's fun about watercolors too is that you can blend colors. So I've been using pink, but I think I'm going to try mixing in some purple. Wow, look at how cool that looks. I'm going to go ahead and draw the stem. I like how some of the petals came off into that flower. It looks kind of cute. All right, now I'm gonna have this flower next. And I'm gonna do a stamping effect like I did before, but with a flower, I probably won't be able to make a pattern because how nicely are colors really gonna show up on flower petals? We don't know. We're gonna find out. So I'm using a purple marker right now, and I'm just trying to color on the petals of this flower. Then I'm going to take it and I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to press it onto my paper. Wow, look at that. That turned out pretty cool. Here's a closer look at how my bee's garden turned out. I'm really, really happy with this flower right here especially. And there's my little thumbprint. I hope you have fun with this project, Preschool. Bye.